The language of tears. Understanding your baby's cries. Have you ever sat to think of why babies cry? Well, you're in for a treat because in this video we will discuss with you the different sounds babies make, their meaning, and if possible what to do when you hear these cries. Babies, also known as infants, are the young offspring of human beings in the early stages of life, normally from the time of birth to around 2 years of age. Babies are the youngest of the human group and are born after a gestation period of 9 months, 280 days, in the womb of their mother. They are very vulnerable and are highly dependent on adults for all their basic needs, including care, warmth, protection, and nourishment for their well-being and healthy development. Babies communicate their emotions or needs to adults through crying, body movements, and facial expressions since they can't talk just yet. This is a unique form of communication that, if you are not conversant with, will deprive your baby of these basic needs. If you are a parent or babysitter, it is natural to have experienced the frustration or exhaustion of not being able to understand your baby's cries. Every parent goes through this phase, and it is part of the learning process. With a little patience and practice, you can learn to understand these cries. Each cry has its own unique rhythm and pattern, and with time, you will start to recognize them and give care to your baby. Okay, let's dive in. Let us understand the first cry on our list. The basic cry. This is the most common cry and is characterized by a rhythmic pattern of crying and silence with sounds like neigh, neigh, neigh. It usually indicates that your baby is hungry, tired, or needs a diaper change. 2. The mad cry. This cry is louder and more intense than the basic cry with sounds like a. It usually indicates that your baby is frustrated or angry. 3. The pain cry. This cry is unmistakable and often heartbreaking to hear. It's sharp, sudden, and may come with a pained expression with sounds like oh, oh, oh. It's a signal that your baby is experiencing discomfort or pain. If your baby's cry sounds different from their usual cries, it's essential to check for signs of illness or discomfort. If you're concerned, it's always a good idea to consult your pediatrician. 4. The hungry cry. The hungry cry is perhaps the most common cry because this cry starts softly and gradually becomes louder, urgent, and persistent with sounds like neigh, 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 but more intense and high-pitched. It's a baby's way of saying, "Hey, I'm hungry, feed me." If you notice your little one smacking their lips, opening and closing their mouth, or making sucking motions, it's a good indication that it's time for a feeding. Remember, new babies have tiny tummies and need to feed frequently, especially if you are breastfeeding. Don't hesitate to feed them on demand. This means following their cues rather than a strict schedule. 5. The tired cry. Babies need a lot of sleep, and if they're tired, they often let us know by crying, rubbing their eyes, or yawning, accompanied by sounds like a, but more monotone. All these signs indicate that your baby is tired and needs to sleep, so creating a calm and quiet environment, swaddling your baby, or using a soothing lullaby will usually help your baby drift off to dreamland. 6. The bored cry. Yes, even babies can get bored. The boredom cry is often characterized by a whining sound or a lack of enthusiasm in their cries with sounds like a, but more drawn out. This cry is usually soft and monotone. When you see these signs, it indicates that your baby is bored and needs stimulation. Engaging your baby with age-appropriate toys like rattles, soft plush animals, or colorful mobiles can help alleviate their boredom and provide them with the stimulation they crave. What toys or activities have you found to be particularly effective in combating your baby's boredom and stimulating their little minds? Share your experiences, tips, or suggestions in the comments below. Your thoughts can be immensely helpful to other viewers. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already, so you won't miss out on future discussions and valuable content. 7. The overstimulation cry. Babies can become overwhelmed by too much noise, activity, or sensory stimulation around them, so a high-pitched and frantic cry, with sounds like a, but more urgent and intense, is their way of saying, "I need a break." It indicates that the baby is overstimulated and needs to be calmed down. Finding a quiet and calm space for your baby, reducing sensory stimuli, or gently rocking them can help soothe their overstimulated nerves. 8. The colic cry. An intense and long-lasting cry with sounds like neigh, 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 but more drawn out and high-pitched. usually lasting for hours, will indicate that your baby is suffering from colic, a common condition in infants. To provide relief for colic, you can try a few strategies such as offering a pacifier, turning on white noise, or gently rocking the baby in your arms or a swing to help soothe the baby and alleviate discomfort. In case you are feeling frustrated, it's beneficial to let someone else take over or place the baby in a crib to ensure their safety and give yourself a moment to regroup yourself. 9. The sick cry. This cry is weak and accompanied by other symptoms like fever or vomiting with sounds like but more weak and monotone. It indicates that your baby is sick and needs medical attention, so see your pediatrician. 10. The separation cry. This cry usually indicates that something is bothering your baby. It can be caused by a wet diaper, uncomfortable clothing, or feeling too hot or too cold. You will hear a loud and persistent cry with sounds like neigh, 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 but more urgent and intense, indicating that your baby is anxious and needs to be comforted, so checking your baby's diaper, adjusting their clothing, or ensuring they're in a comfortable environment can help soothe this cry. Last on the list is the attention cry. Babies are social creatures and love being around their caregivers, so high-pitched, intense cry that starts off slow and gradually gets louder and more urgent with sound like wah, 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 usually accompanied by flailing arms and legs, is your baby's way of saying, "I want your love and attention." Simply giving your baby some affectionate attention, holding them, or engaging in gentle play can often alleviate their cry. Understanding the different sounds babies make when they cry can help you identify their needs and provide the necessary care and comfort to your baby. For example, if your baby is crying because they are hungry, you can feed them. If they are crying because they are tired, you can put them to sleep. If they are crying because they are in pain, you can check for any signs of discomfort and provide the necessary care. It's important to note that each baby's cry may sound slightly different, but this is a general explanation and characteristic of each cry. We hope that this video is informative and helpful. Until next time, stay curious about the fascinating world of babies and keep nurturing those bright minds. As always, this video is meant for educational purposes only and should not be taken as professional advice. Thanks for watching.